What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another video, and in today's video we are not going to be talking about anything mobile game related. There will be no discussion of the King of Fighters All-Star, at least not anything in depth. Instead, in today's video, we are going to be talking about my life and what has been going on behind the scenes with TBR. Where have all the videos been? Where have I been? What's been going on? A lot of important information in this video. I know a lot of people tend to only read either what's on the thumbnail or in the title or watch the first couple minutes of videos. However, if you are a follower of the channel, you will definitely want to sit back and listen to this one in full if you can stand to listen to my voice for that long. But before we go ahead and get into all of that more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. You know I had to fit that in here somewhere, right? But anyway, guys, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video because obviously, if you guys haven't noticed, if you've been here with the channel for any discernible amount of time, you'd be well aware that I went from making a video pretty much every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, to making just a couple videos a week, typically towards the end of the week. Now, for the reasons that I've outlined in the past, which I don't want to go over in detail again, but just to kind of summarize, the past 6 months of my life have been a little bit crazy. Basically, back in July, if you guys remember, I did get into a car accident and wrecked my car, totaled it out. That was great. And then my job decided 2 weeks later that it was going to close down. Yeah, it was good times. Now, I'd worked with that job for 8 years, so definitely not a welcome surprise, especially considering I had just lost my vehicle a couple of weeks prior. However, it was what it was, right? Not much you can do. So I ended up getting a new job. However, that new job did not come without its problems, which we're going to kind of talk about here because it does feed into most of what I want to talk about in this video. And it is the main reason why the videos were cut down. For those of you who are not aware, basically, I usually would get up around 4 or 5 in the morning in order to be able to not only shoot a video, but also to edit and upload a video before I would go into my original job that shut down. Now, when I started the new job, I ended up having to go into work 2 hours earlier and got out 2 hours later. So that was an extra 4 hours of actual IRL work that was tacked onto my day getting that new job. And unfortunately, that is what caused me to not be able to bring you guys as much content. It just is what it is, right? So with that being said, though, that job also had its other issues. And I want to go ahead and address some kind of more serious stuff here. So for those of you who don't like getting into this sort of stuff, you may want to skip forward a little bit, but trust me, if you want to know kind of what's been going on with me, this is the section you want to listen to. So I know a lot of people have sent me well wishes, been asking me if I'm all right, whatever the case may be, because maybe they did not know that those changes had occurred and not had seen some of the videos where I talked about that kind of stuff. Again, that's why these types of videos you might want to listen to, but I do appreciate all of you guys' love and support. Admittedly, the hardest part of that new job was not even the changes to my schedule. It was not anything to do with anything outside of how it was making me feel personally. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty details, but that job, it has been absolutely soul-sucking. And for those of you who have wondered why I've looked kind of sickly, why I've looked a little bit different, it's because of that. And while I don't want to get into any bastardizing details or anything that's just too crazy here, I don't want to talk about any of that kind of stuff about the actual job details. All I will say is it was causing me a lot of depression. And it was causing me a lot of anxiety. I'm not going to lie, I was having anxiety attacks every day, not only because of the workload that I had to somehow keep up with, but on top of all of that, worrying about, well, the channel. And while that might not seem like it should be a priority, it had begun to kind of be more of a priority as time went on, and it was less of a priority, if that's going to make any sense. Let me unpack that. Basically, I began to realize just how much this channel meant to me and making content meant to me as I started to be able to make less and less of it. And I don't want to say it was something that I hadn't already considered. I had obviously thought about all of this stuff going in, but I have bills to pay, so obviously I had to have a job. So I jumped in head first, having to protect, you know, my assets, my life, my family, so that's more important, obviously. But in sacrificing that, as I had told you guys originally when I had to do it, it wasn't something I wanted to have to do. And it began to make me feel, for lack of a better term, like crap. It was something that was really starting to weigh on me. On top of that, there was also, again, the depression that came along with the actual job, the anxiety that came along with the job that began to become so oppressive, I couldn't handle it anymore. And I ended up having, I don't want to say a nervous breakdown over things, but it had not been good. Now, with that said, I had taken kind of large gaps and things like that in order to kind of just try and center myself to avoid having to bring any of that stuff here, as well as just trying to keep things kind of in the usual upbeat state here on the channel that I like to keep. And it is what it is. It's something that I look back upon now, and I can honestly say that I can look back upon it because as of yesterday, I quit my job. So I did quit my job. Now, don't worry for all of you guys out there who are throwing your arms in the air and being like, well, TBR, that's a stupid decision. Why would you do that? Why would you want to be unemployed? Well, I'm not unemployed. I ended up doing the age-old thing of getting a job and then getting rid of the old job. So never get rid of a job unless you have another job lined up. That's just my first advice to anybody out there. That's what I've always abided by. Make sure you have something else lined up before you just up and quit something. However, I did line up something else that is absolutely a job that I have been very, very, very optimistic about. Not just because of the fact that it was a job that was not just a lateral move, but a pure upgrade in a lot of areas. It was a job that I genuinely wanted to do. And coming out of what I was just doing, which is something I did not want to be doing and was just absolutely, again, sucking out my very soul, it's a good feeling. I feel like the weight of the world has kind of been lifted off my shoulders, and I honestly feel like I can breathe again. So I wanted to let you guys kind of know what's been going on, because honestly, I had to put in all of my effort into that. And I know you guys, some of you may know that already, and this might be reiteration of past details, but I wanted to update you guys on what's been going on the past week or so. Now, with that being said, this is going to be a big change here to the channel, because I can go back to my old schedule. That's right, you guys. I have my old schedule IRL back, so now I can bring back my old schedule here on the channel. So going forward, starting next week, we are going to be going back to the old format here on the channel. However, in January, we are going to be changing things up a bit. I'm not going to go into all of the details in today's video because I wanted to more so focus on the kind of background stuff in this one. But I do want to let you guys know in January, I have some stuff planned. And it's going to change the channel in a big way, kind of like I promised you guys last year that going into this past January, there were going to be some major changes here to the channel. And then, of course, we got a webcam, we got the whole setup with the PC, all that good stuff. Now, this coming year is going to be no different. However, it is going to be a different type of change, and it's one I am very excited about. It's something I'm going to start doing in January, so stay tuned for details on it. I will be sure to update all of you on what this will be when we get to that point. But I just wanted to go ahead and make this video because I wanted you guys to kind of know what's been going on with me, and I also just kind of wanted to go over the details of what's been going on in the background. And I wanted to give you guys the good news, because honestly, being able to go back to my old schedule and bring you guys normal content like you guys are used to from me is something that I have been wanting to do for the past couple of months since getting that job. I just haven't had the ability. And thank you to everyone who has continued to love and support the channel and myself. All of you guys mean the world to me. It was really something I had kind of thought about a lot going into kind of just that new schedule for whatever it was, where I had wondered if people would even care. And honestly, I can say now that I've experienced it and had to slow down content, people did. And I appreciate everyone who reached out to me during this time. I appreciate all of you. It's just sometimes life kind of throws you curveballs and you kind of just got to pivot and adjust accordingly. And sometimes it takes time to get back to where you would like to be. And I'm very fortunate and very happy to be able to say I'm finally going to be able to get back to me and get back to what I want to do and the things that I care about, which part of that is you guys and this channel. It's a very big part of it. That's something that I have honestly learned more and more over the past couple of months. And yeah, I appreciate each and every single one of you. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you all go. There will be a second video today that will give you some KoF All-Star content. So you guys will not have to just have one video today. Instead, you'll have two. And you won't have to just listen to me ramble. Instead, you can actually get some KoF All-Star content in there also. So look out for that video later on today. I appreciate all of you so much. Again, big things coming in January, as they always do for me here on the channel in January. I like to change things up a bit. So there's going to be quite a bit in store, so stay tuned. But anyway, guys, thank you all for your love and support. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.
Continue.